Battle Through the Heavens, Grand World. Chapter 197 Guaranteed Life. The blood-red world carried who was black to the bone, and crushed thousands of stars. Carrying the ancient aura, it rolled towards Xiao Yan's soul consciousness. Sensing this vast aura, Xiao Yan couldn't help but break out in cold sweat. He didn't expect the heaven cauldron to have its own world. This ability was comparable to the saint-grade monarch skill. Rumble. When Xiao Yan carefully probed the world within the cauldron, a voice that directly struck his soul suddenly exploded in his mind. After that, an extremely ancient voice slowly sounded. The heavy and carefree tone mixed together, making him feel inexplicably uncomfortable. How many years has it been? Finally, someone has come. Fortunately, my soul energy was sealed within the Blood Night Heaven Cauldron, allowing me to endure until now. Otherwise, it would have dissipated a long time ago. An ancient voice resounded in Xiao Yan's soul perception. There seemed to be a trace of relief in his voice. I have broken through to the next realm for the fighting monarch of lower realm, and by chance. My soul force has become the soul of the great world through the 3-step soul transfer of a senior. After that, after going through endless difficulties and obstacles, I was lucky enough to reach the Monarch Emperor. I only broke through to the Emperor cultivation after a narrow escape, but I know. With my abilities, if I want to break through to the Monarch cultivation. Therefore, before I break through, all of this was done in advance, and as expected, it failed. The ancient voice let out a long sigh. It carried a sense of sadness, which made Xiao Yan feel the same way. The heart flame burning is too difficult for the fighting monarch of lower realm. If breaking through to the Emperor cultivation from the Monarch Emperor is a narrow escape, then there will be less than 100 Emperor cultivation warriors breaking through to the Monarch cultivation. It's hard to imagine how much luck it will take for a Monarch cultivation warrior to break through to the Heavenly Sovereign, or even the Saint Realm. The ancient voice paused for a moment, then it turned and said slowly. Since someone had come here. This is also fate. The 5 brocade boxes on the stone platform contain some items that I have collected over the years. Although they are valuable, they are just ordinary items compared to this Blood Night Heaven Cauldron. He exhaled a breath of air and said with a bitter smile, however, this Heaven Cauldron. Due to me refining the spirit of heart flame that advanced from the Monarch Emperor to the Emperor cultivation back then, I fused it into the Heaven Cauldron. Therefore, if I really want to master this Heaven Cauldron, only the fighting monarch of lower realm could once again refine the spirit of heart flame that allowed me to break through to the Emperor cultivation. Only by merging with it would it be possible. Therefore, if it was a resident of a great world, this Heaven Cauldron has no effect on you all. Take it out. You can sell some monarch crystals, hee hee. Xiao Yan raised his eyebrows when he heard this, then he laughed lightly. He never thought that this Heaven Cauldron would have the authority to use it. That thing was perfect for him. I don't have much left of my soul energy left. If the things I left behind can benefit the younger generation, it will be a great contribution to me. What a pity. What a pity. The ancient voice became softer and softer until it completely disappeared. Only a deep sigh lingered in Xiao Yan's mind. Was it the regret of not advancing to the monarch cultivation, or the regret of the fighting monarch of lower realm? After withdrawing his soul energy from the Blood Night Cauldron, Xiao Yan pursed his lips. He was silent for a long time before he finally let out a soft sigh. He turned around and bowed deeply towards the bronze coffin tomb. As for this fighting monarch that had also entered the lower realm, although he didn't know his name, he still had the courage to move forward and not give up. It had become the pride of the fighting monarch of lower realm, even if it died. He would fight with his life on the line. Although Xiao Yan wanted to explore the Blood Night Heaven Cauldron, with his current situation, without the Xiao Yi or the Xiao Ao to monitor the outside world, it was obviously not suitable for him to fully immerse himself in it. Retracting his gaze from the bronze coffin tomb in front of him, Xiao Yan turned around and looked at the 5 brocade boxes on the stone platform. He heard from the senior that there were some of his collections here, so it must be quite precious for them to be placed here. The 4 brocade boxes lay quietly on the stone platform. The surface of the boxes was emitting a faint fluorescent light. The size of the brocade boxes was not large, only the size of a palm. However, they were a few inches deep and could store some things. Taking a deep breath, Xiao Yan stretched out his hand and picked up the first brocade box. He was about to open it when he thought about it. A layer of origin monarch key appeared on his hands. Nearly 10,000 years had passed. Although the things inside could be preserved, they were definitely not ordinary items. However, it was hard to say whether some precious medicinal herbs would turn to ashes in an instant when they met the air. Xiao Yan had encountered this kind of thing many times. He opened the brocade box in his hand and the origin monarch key instantly surrounded it. In order to prevent the air from entering, Xiao Yan composed himself and looked inside. There was nothing else in the brocade box except a bamboo slip. The bamboo slip was made from dozens of bamboo strips, and it was full of tiny characters. It was densely packed and neat. The words seemed to have a special spiritual aura that covered the entire bamboo slip. It prevented the bamboo slip from being eroded by the passage of time. Xiao Yan frowned and carefully took out the bamboo slip. He looked at the top of the bamboo slip and saw a few bold words dancing on it. Comprehension of heart flame burning. The big characters took up nearly 1/3 of the area of the bamboo slip, making it extremely eye-catching. Looking at this, his eyes swept across the dozen or so small seal characters on the bamboo slips once again. Xiao Yan's heart immediately started beating intensely, and a trace of wild joy emerged from the bottom of his heart. This thing was undoubtedly a timely help to him. It was difficult for him to break through to the Emperor cultivation from the Monarch Emperor. Although it wasn't something he needed to consider urgently, it was an unerasable worry in his heart. He would have to face it sooner or later. Now that he had this thing, this also meant that he had a solid layer of protection on his way to the Emperor cultivation. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that he had gained an extra life. Xiao Yan put the bamboo slip into the brocade box with joy. He carefully put it into his storage ring. Although he had almost died in the tomb this time, it was already worthwhile for him to be able to obtain a heaven cauldron and his comprehension of the heart flame burning, not to mention other things. He had witnessed the good stuff in the first brocade box. This thing was worthless to the original residents, but to him, it was equivalent to saving his life. After calming down his excited mood, Xiao Yan had some expectations for the other 4 brocade boxes. He picked up the second brocade box and opened it. A few strange herbs and a dark black medicine pill were lying quietly inside. At the bottom of the brocade box was a bamboo slip as thin as a cicada's wing. There were only a few words on the bamboo slip. Xiao Yan's eyes swept over these medicinal ingredients and could not help but exclaim. These medicinal ingredients were all rare and even extremely rare treasures. Any one of them was sufficient to cause many alchemists to go crazy. That dark black medicine pill seemed to emit a somewhat familiar aura from it. Xiao Yan carefully picked up the bamboo slip from the bottom of the brocade box. He carefully looked at it. After he finished looking at it, he could not help but take a deep breath. A fiery heat instantly surged into his eyes. There were some things that had increased Xiao Yan's confidence in the heart flame burning that he needed to experience to advance from the Monarch Emperor to the Emperor cultivation. After going through the heart flame burning, if I take the essence protecting pill, the success rate will be 30% or 50%. In the past, I searched all the regions and found 4 sets of herbs to concoct the essence protecting pill. I concocted 3 of them, took 2 of them and was lucky enough to succeed. As for the remaining 1 and the herbs, I will leave it to someone who is fated to be in the lower realm. These few words immediately caused Xiao Yan to become excited. The highest success rate was 50%, and the failure rate of the heart flame burning could be said to be unbelievable. The things left behind by this Emperor cultivation senior were completely benefiting the lower realm's backfighting monarch. After putting away the brocade box excitedly, Xiao Yan's gaze finally shifted to the other 3 brocade boxes. After all, there were only a few fighting monarch of lower realms in the great world. The things in these 2 brocade boxes were useless to the original residents. In that case, the remaining 3 brocade boxes should be something that everyone could use. Was it a monarch crystal or a spirit weapon? Or was it a monarch skill? Chapter end. Hi guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.